Sabah everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to check out the brand new OnePlus watch. Now we did the unboxing last Saturday. Today we're going to check out all of the things that this watch can do. And of course, we're going to check it out with our OnePlus 9 Pro. This is TK and this is the OnePlus watch. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. Now the package is pretty simple. All you're getting in there essentially is going to be the charger. It's a USB type A to a couple of pin here that basically attach to the bottom of the watch. Now they are magnetic, which means the watch itself will stay magnetically connected, as well as they're actually having a small soft surface here if you have it on the top of a table, and a small magnet if you want to be able to put it underneath the table next to the legs for better cable management. But other than that, you also get the watch itself. It comes with one strap. You are able to call a customer service in the US and request a shorter strap if you feel like this is too long, but you do not include that in the box itself. As far as the actual watch, everything comes pre-assembled and there is a little bit of a charge when you first take it out. And a fun fact, I've been using the watch on the first charge that I got it about almost a week and a half ago. So we're still running on the same initial charge, and the battery itself right now is at about 19%. So we haven't even killed the battery and it's been going on for this long. I've been using it with the OnePlus 9 Pro, as you can imagine, and this case is actually a custom case made by OnePlus for the OnePlus 9 Pro. But that's pretty much all you're getting in here. It does have basically a 1-year warranty, which covers the watch itself. So the watch itself is actually on the bigger side, so there's no size difference. You do press the button on the top here. There is a word here that says OnePlus on the top button, and that's going to be basically your activity, kind of like almost like your app drawer that you access. This one is not reprogrammable. The bottom one is programmable, and it is configured currently to be on the exercise, so the workout modes. And fun fact, there's going to be an OTA coming up in another month or so that's going to be pushing up the number of activity tracking here up to 110 activities from the current setup that we have right now. Watch faces are pretty simple, pretty easy to set up. Now there's 4 gigs of internal storage RAM that you're able to use to store music on it, and since it connects via Bluetooth over to our smartphone with built-in GPS as well as NFC, it's going to be pretty easy to communicate and transfer content. You can even transfer images into here and customize different basically watch faces. There's nothing on the swiping from the left. Swiping from the right gives you access to the other measurements, so your heart rate measurement. This is my sleep tracker, music player. You can customize the weather, activities, and of course trackers. Now you're limited to 6 different tiles. I don't know if they're called tiles or not, but essentially is after 6 you're not able to add. You press and hold the same way you do with any other smartwatch. If you swipe to the right, you try to add and it says the number has been reached. So you do need to remove one. Also, we're not able to actually move them from one to the other. So if you want to order them or put them in the right order, you do need to actually add them in that order. Pressing home takes us back. Swiping up from the top takes us directly into the settings tab or notification shade. Although we have a do not disturb, find my phone, settings, torch, as well as timer. And the timer right now is set to disable the display at about 8 seconds. So let's go ahead and bring it down, go into settings. This is where you'll be able to set up your Bluetooth headset, display and brightness, pretty straightforward. Rates to wake automatically, and it works pretty well. Auto brightness, configuration, and of course screen brightness timeout. So you're able to time it out after 8 seconds as being the most. And as long as you're touching it, it keeps working. Sound and vibrations, pretty straightforward. Ringtone volume, you can customize it, change it. Mute mode if you want to just disable it and have it on vibration. And vibrational alerts, of course. Smart wake up alarm, you can turn that on as well. Next thing here, obviously you can turn on and turn off a do not disturb. This one is actually available directly within the settings tab. So that little moon right there, it's pretty much the same thing. Now, function key, which is what they refer to as that bottom right key. So if I press that, by default, it's configured right now to be workouts, but you can customize it to be almost anything that's on the actual watch. So that's one of the really nice things, but default, again, right there. And this coincidentally is also a button, if you press and hold for an extended amount of time, that gives you the reboot and shutdown option on the actual watch itself. So very easy, very simple to set up. You're able to set up a password if you want to be able to set one. Basically if you're wearing it on the right hand or the left hand, I have it on my left hand, of course. Language, currently these are the only languages that are supported, and my understanding is that we'll have additional ones in the future, so just keep in mind. Currently, at least for me, Arabic is not supported in here, and even Arabic messages that come through do not display correctly. So English is pretty much the only one I'll be able to use, and probably French as well. Under system, we have the ability of rebooting, shutdown, same thing if you press and hold the slow button. Pair with a new phone, if you're trying to set it up with a new device, resetting it to default will start up the process again. Under about, pretty straightforward. OnePlus watch, model number is W301GB. This is the US variant with 4 gigs of RAM. 2 versions, black and silver, 46mm and the long band. And you can call for a short one, 1-year warranty. 5 atmosphere protection as well as IP68. And the processor that they're using here is called the STM32, and that's going to be supporting this entire thing. 402 milliampere battery that should last us up to 2 weeks, and seriously, it's almost there. And again, I still have 19%. As far as starting any activity, all you have to do is just click the button here, pick the actual run or whatever activity you can do. Again, swimming is also built in here, although there is a battery requirement for certain activities so that it doesn't actually have any problems. So you can go ahead and say click. Running, pretty straightforward. You can say continue, turns on the GPS, heart rate monitoring, and of course you can set up your laps as you're running. So if you're running laps around the, let's say, a field, you can actually set it so that it captures the different points of it, and then of course you can start. Swiping away kind of stops it. Water swimming does also have a screen locking mechanism, so when you're in the pool it actually disables lock or disables touch, so you don't get any false disabling of the actual activity. The only thing that you need to do at the end is press and hold the OnePlus button or the top button for about 4 seconds, and you'll notice that there is a disabling option, and it releases a small sound to eject the water out of the speaker that's built in here with the, again, the microphone that we have on the other side. Other than that, you're able to pick all these different activities, and as I mentioned, there's going to be an update that's going to increase all of these activities up to 110 different activities that you can select and customize. Now, to be able to use the smartwatch, you do need to download the OnePlus Health application. This one currently is available on the Google Play Store. You need to just download it and pair it. The watch itself only works on Android right now, no support for iOS, at least mentioned at this point. Click the top, you'll get access to the information. You can kind of see the daily trackers, the step counters. You can even jump back in the calendar, and you can see here from the 5th of April all the way to today, the 14th, I haven't killed the battery. This is still one charge that I've been running it the whole time. If we jump back here to this day, you can see here basically my workout time, the calories, activity stress here, how much distance I did walk, and of course how many floors did I go up. You have the ability to see in the heart rate information as well, and that one does go back. For some reason, sleep and O2 sensing does not show the record here, although if I go into the watch, swipe to the right, you can see here that it does actually track the sleeping. It's for some reason it's just not pairing. And according to OnePlus, there's going to be an update in the middle of April before retail units are shipping to customers that will fix the O2 sensor as well as the sleep tracker. Stress level, that one does sync. It seems to work pretty fine. And of course, we have workout sessions here. I did log in a pool session, so it does actually work where it tracks your pool swimming. Very nice with IP68, and again, and up to 5 atmosphere support, which means really rated well to be able to stay in the pool, just no diving, deep diving at least. Under this fitness, you're able to activate either a walk or run, and of course turn on GPS. And now switching over to manages, this is where we kind of configure the watch itself. First, you'll notice this, it's connected over and 19%. I've seen some of the other videos posted that they said they had a lot of connectivity issues with the watch itself. One of the reasons behind that is under app protection under the device, it explains to you what you need to do so that the app, the OnePlus Health app, doesn't get killed by the operating system. So short answer is you just need to remove battery optimization where it removes it, and they also recommend you locking the app. So you notice right there for me on OnePlus Health, I locked it in memory so that it always stays in the background. Now, watch faces, straightforward. You're automatically taken into the main section here. There's AI outfit, which is coming in the near future, but you can also customize your photos. You can see right there, I've customized my own watch face. So let's go ahead and do this one or this one. And of course, it activates and pushes it directly into the watch. Now, these are the ones loaded on my watch or on the watch right now. This is the maximum number you're able to add, but you also have a lot more. So if we jump under all, let's go ahead and cancel. You can see all of the other watches. So you have classic watches, dynamic watches, minimalist, joy, practical, and of course sport. Some of them have multiple sections, meaning multiple layers of configuration. Something like this with a geometry form, you're able to pick different colors and of course customize it directly either from the watch or here, and of course add it to your smartwatch. So very nice, a very big collection, and of course, currently only supported with ones that are provided from OnePlus. There's no third-party applications for either the App Store or downloading apps from third parties or even downloading other watch faces, but the selection is actually quite nice. We have a reminder for workouts, of course, app protection, as we talked about before. Some tips on how to be able to use it, kind of just instruction of turning on the display, swiping down, doing all the different things. Under device setting, we get the ability of customizing the music player. So here we can transfer content to it. I've downloaded a couple of songs here directly from my phone. We're also able to add context into it, specific context. It doesn't sync everything, so you're able to add that. So you can initiate it directly from the internal app. Weather information, we're limited to basically customizing between Fahrenheit and Celsius, so that's the limit here. You can set your goals as far as step goals, calorie goals, and auto pause for exercise. Device update is where we will be able to download updates directly, and you do have the ability of customizing it, running the latest version right here to download over Wi-Fi so that it doesn't use your mobile data on your smartphone. And of course, under About Watch, we see the same thing as far as the model number. And if you want to unpair it, this is basically where you put it. Overall, what we're starting with right now is a very good base. Again, with the couple of little things that I mentioned to you guys, like the O2 sensor here. If I switch over to the sensor itself, I'll go ahead and go home. So oxygen blood level here, it's asking us to measure. I'm just going to put it on my finger, let it measure right there. Even though it's measuring it, even though it's going through the actual measurement, it just does not actually show up in here. And I've tried and I've looked. And again, the update is supposed to basically get this information pushed to the actual app itself in the near future. So hopefully before you're even able to pick up a retail unit, this is going to be fixed. And then as you can see right there, the information shows up. You got a gauge. It tells you roughly where the SpO2 is. But again, none of that information syncs even if I swipe down to update the information. Unfortunately, currently, again, it just needs to be updated there. The watch is going to be selling for about $159 in the US, and of course different pricing in different countries. The main thing is this is OnePlus's first smartwatch in the US. It's actually, we never got the OnePlus Band that was released in Asia. So this is literally the first opportunity for us to see what OnePlus's vision is for wearables as far as wearable tech. Now, as far as a companion, what it does as far as tracking information, it actually does a decent job. And all the information is on the watch itself. Battery life is crazy long. It does actually work all the time. And I have all of the sensors on. So the heart rate, the SpO2, the stress level is also there. And I do get notifications pushed to the actual watch. One thing to keep in mind, this is not like a standard Wear OS watch where you have all those responses, the options to be able to interact. There's a very set or small limited amount of things you can do with it. For the most part, you do see the name of the app, which is something that is a little bit better than some of the other watches I've seen in the past. And of course, interaction with them is very limited. My hope is that in the future, we'll be able to get some more functionalities. Although I kind of understand how they're able to save battery. They're removing certain features that typically are more battery intensive on standard watches. So those are the things you want to keep in mind. What you're getting here is a tailored experience for long battery life, great design, and a great aesthetic look. The watch itself is very thin. It doesn't actually take that much space. As long as you have medium size to larger size wrists, it actually looks pretty good. And if you like rocking a large watch on a smaller wrist, then this is definitely going to work. Just be aware, if you need a smaller strap, you do need to contact customer service from OnePlus and they will provide you a smaller strap. It just does not come in the box. So overall, what do I think of the watch? I think as far as the start, this is definitely a very good start. The hardware is definitely there. OnePlus is working on pushing more features to the hardware that we have in there. Namely, we have NFC that's built in there, but I haven't seen one application right now that's utilizing it. So there could potentially be a payment application coming in the near future. We have GPS, we have Bluetooth 5.0, battery life again is very large, 4 gigabytes of storage for internal memory so that you can use it to listen to music. So pair, let's say, a OnePlus Buds or anything like that, a Bluetooth headset, and you can actually go for a run without having to take your phone with you because of the built-in GPS. So there's a lot of nice things that are built in there that I feel like they're done very nicely. So this is not a full review. This is not my review, the actual watch. I've had it for about a week. And again, I haven't actually killed the battery one time yet. I'm still on my first cycle on it. So I will be pushing my review a little bit later in maybe about a month so that I can actually get in that update or the OTA that they pushed out, or they're going to be pushing out to sync up the sleep tracking, because that's actually a metric that I like to look in the actual tracking of any smartwatch that I use. Now, do I think this is a great companion? Should you go pick it up right now? Probably would say is if you're definitely a hardcore OnePlus fan and you love getting everything OnePlus, I think the OnePlus watch fits that ecosystem absolutely, and it does everything exactly as you could expect it. Again, updates will fix some of the concerns that we're looking at. The hardware is solid, the design is very nice. So I wouldn't necessarily call it yet. I think it's too early. We've been running with early development software or pre-release software on our smartwatches, and I feel like we need a little bit more time to give our final verdict. But so far, very impressed and definitely looking forward to all of the new features that OnePlus will push to the brand new OnePlus watch. Like and subscribe as usual. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of the brand new OnePlus watch? And of course, what would you like me to focus on when we do the full review in a few more weeks? I'll see you guys in the next one.